Hall of Fame broadcaster, Brewers radio play-by-play announcer since 1971. Actor, comedian, all-around great guy, Bob Uecker. Ueck, how are you today?
How you doing, kid? Good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you. How much fun has this season been for you?
Well, it's, with the deals they made, Dan, and the acquisitions of a couple of guys who have really been really impact players for the club. Talking about Lorenzo Cain and Christian Yelich. It's been a fun season for not only me but fans here in Milwaukee, and I mean with the expansion of the rosters and the up and down deal you can do with the 10 days to the minor leagues back up again. I mean you got guys moving all season long here. I mean it's a constant movement, and it was a fun club. It's a fun club. It's a good bunch of guys. And I think if you talk to anybody connected with the club, that's what they tell you. It's kind of a wee bunch of guys, not too many I guys, and David Stearns and Matt Arnold who have made these moves and really gone all out to make a run. It came to fruition, and here they are coming back to Milwaukee for the final 3 games and a shot at postseason play for a while.
Who's Christian Yelich remind you of?
Roy Rogers.
Okay. Why?
No. I don't know if he reminds me of anybody.
Wait, the way he plays, does he remind? Come on, goofball. No, he's one of those guys. They don't come along too often. I mean, the guy can run. He can play in the outfield. He can throw. He hits with power. He's hitting for average. And I'm telling you, he's one of those guys that never says me or I. He doesn't. And, a fun guy to be around. He is. I mean, the club in general, Dan, is a bunch of good guys. The Dominican players, I don't care where they're from. It's one big unit, and guys like Jesus Aguilar, who's a huge dude and a fun guy. Orlando Arce, I think, is going to be one of the best shortstops in baseball down the road here. I mean, everybody they got on this club has contributed and made it really a fun season. I mean, it got a little testy every once in a while, but for the most part, it's been good. It's been a lot of fun. How did you celebrate clinching a playoff berth the first time in, 7 years?
Yeah, it was a little testy for me. My pacemaker kicked out because they dumped a lot of stuff on me, and it caused my arm to rotate in starting an outboard motor. That got a little testy for a while. But other than that, it was okay. I rode home soaking wet, and but it was fun. Everybody on board was really nice. I didn't shower because it would have thrown me off my game, at the home. We do that at the home every night. I don't know why these guys get such a big kick out of celebrating. We do it at the home every night.
At your peak, what role would you play on this Brewers team?
I would have probably been the guy opening the bottles. That would have been my job. As a matter of fact, I might not have been on the 40-man roster at this time.
Wow.
Yeah, this is. I mean, the clubhouse celebration, Dan. You've been around them. You know what they are, and to do it on the road and do it in St. Louis, it was a little extra special because the Cardinals knocked them out last year in that final series in St. Louis, and Colorado went on to win. So it was a little satisfaction for the Brewers and the crew to do it in St. Louis to sweep the series. And now the Cubs and the Cardinals get it on in Chicago starting tonight, and the Brewers have Detroit here at Miller Park.
We're talking to Bob Uecker, a Hall of Fame broadcaster. Did you keep all of the tapes, your appearances on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson? Do you have the archives of those appearances?
A lot of the stuff is on adhesive tape, so it's kind of hard to hear. But But no, I didn't keep any of that stuff. I had such a good time with Johnny all the time. I never did anything on that show, Dan, to promote anything. I won on one particular show. I was doing that Mr. Belvedere series, and I was going to sing. I was going to change my MO from a writer to a singer, and I sang on the Tonight Show, and I sang off key really bad. So Johnny asked me. He said, "When is this show going to play?" And I said, "Thursday." He said, "Thursday, bowling." But then I blamed it on Doc Severinsen and that we didn't have a chance to work out together. But no, I had a good time with Johnny all the time. I mean, I really did. He was great to me.
But first time you go on, I don't know if you get nervous or not. I don't know if going to the plate, facing Sandy Koufax is more nerve-wracking than, going on the Tonight Show. But if you were going to compare the two, how nervous were you going on the Tonight Show first time?
The first time I did it was 1969, and they were still in New York. And I was a little uptight about it, but it went pretty well. And as we said goodnight, I heard Johnny ask Ed McMahon. He said, "Did this guy really play baseball?" Ed said, "I think so." So I went back 2 weeks later, and from there on, I used to do, 4 or 5 shows a year, and always had a good time with him, always.
But then you get Mr. Belvedere, you get the Miller Lite commercials as well. I mean, it all just like there was a time when you and John Madden and maybe Cosell in there. You guys were at the peak there.
Well, it was a lot of fun. I didn't do anything to promote myself. I was doing things to have a good time. I mean, when I was playing baseball, my salary was $2,000 under the minimum, which when the union found out about it, they were a little upset about it. But that was no big deal either. I had a winter job. We all did for the most part. When you're playing back in the 50s and 60s, we had off-season jobs, and you had to have it because you weren't making enough money unless you were one of the big guys.
What was your worst off-season job?
I worked construction outside all winter long, and that was kind of tough. I was working on frozen pipes from lavatories and senior citizens' homes, and that got to be a little testy. I mean, your hands are always cold. I can't touch yourself either. So, I mean, wash your face, your hands are freezing. I mean, it's tough. It was a tough job. But I had 4 kids, and I still don't know where they are. But no, I always had a good time, man. When I got a chance to play, I played, and I played in the big leagues, but I also like to make people laugh. Have you got a minute? I want to tell you about one of the great plays.
Yes.
And it was only a spring training game.
Okay.
But still, I had a chance to knock in the winning run against the Orioles down in Miami. There's a runner at third. This is really 2 outs. I hit a rocket down the third baseline, and I'm going out of the box. I know I got a base hit, right? Now I see Brooks Robinson make a diving stab, and he's in foul territory. Now I know there's going to be a play at first. I see Boog Powell breaking for the bag, right? So now I really start busting down the line, and I had a little habit of knocking my hat off with my thumb, so it looked like I was really moving. And as I get close to the bag, Boog Powell is going to take the throw. Now all of a sudden he starts backing off the bag, and I got a base hit, man. I knocked in the winning run. And as I just about step on the bag, I see a glove down there with a ball in it, and it was Brooks Robinson tagging the bag. It's the only 5 unassisted play at first base. He just did beat me, but it was a great play by Brooksy, too.
If the Brewers win the World Series, finish that sentence.
I will parachute the Grand Canyon without a chute.
Well, don't do that.
It doesn't even look like a bunt.
That's not a walk-off for you, though, is it? If they win the World Series, that would
definitely be a walk-off. Yes.
You would retire if the Brewers won the World Series?
No, are you kidding?
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I'm going to Japan and try to catch next year. They never saw me play.
Could you catch a pitcher right now?
Oh, absolutely. A picture of Miller Lite.
You never dropped one of those, though. No pass balls.
Got that right.
Hey, congrats, though. Been a great run for this team. A lot of fun, and hopefully they generate some excitement here in the playoffs. Always great to catch up with you.
Thank you, pal.
All right.
I'll talk with you guys later. Good being with you.
That's Bob Uecker, Hall of Fame broadcaster. And he's been doing it, I think, 48 years. They've only made the playoffs 7 of the 48 years. What a treasure, though.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.